Today we're talking about Mariah's latest album, The Rarities. Hey kids, Treacle here, welcome back to my channel. Today we're talking about Mariah Carey's latest album, The Rarities. I've been wanting to do a rating video ever since my live stream where I shared my first listen of the album with you guys. So if you were here, thanks for joining a couple of weeks ago, that was so much fun. If you missed that, what happened was I did a live stream and you guys got to watch me listen to the album for the very first time. The live stream does now live on my channel. It's a video that you can go and check out if you want to rewatch that or whatever. But it did get multiple flags for copyright as soon as it went up because I was playing the whole album. So I knew that was going to happen. So there was a little delay before it went up on my channel. And now it's very choppy because I've had to edit out the different songs. So you still get my reactions and my interaction with the comments and things like that. But just be aware it's a little bit choppy. But you can go and check that out if you want. So this isn't going to be like my regular rating videos. If you've been following that series of videos, you'll know that I'm going through each of Mariah's albums as she goes through each era with hashtag MC30. So I have done the debut, Emotions, I didn't do MTV Unplugged, I did Music Box, but I'm saving Merry Christmas a little bit later. We've done Daydream, we've done Butterfly, we have done Rainbow. So I'm going along with MC30. I did originally think I would sit down and do the Rarities just like that, but I don't think I can treat this as a studio album. It just doesn't fit the criteria because I'm talking about longevity, and that's really hard to do with something that's new out. But at the same time, some of the songs are really old, so do they have longevity? And then there's cohesion, unity, how the album works as a body of work and how well it flows and the order and the track listing. And the more I thought about it, I went back and forth, but ultimately I decided this really is a compilation album and my existing scoring criteria doesn't really apply to this one, so I don't think I would give the album a fair shot. There are a couple of categories like unity, cohesion. I just wouldn't know how to score it at all. So I'm not going to apply my regular scoring system, but I did want to sit down and just chat through the songs and share my thoughts now that I have been living with this album. Here we go around again. I love from the minute we got that quick snippet from Mariah on social media. I think it's a really strong way to open the album. I love that it's from the demo. Was it track 1 from her demo? So it's something that she's always had and probably always wanted to share, like for the longest time. I love that we start off in 1990 with this. I love it's got that late 80s vibe. So very, very strong, very, very funky. Can You Hear Me? That is a song that I really am enjoying, and it doesn't get me really, really excited, but I do love it. It really does feel like a cast-off ballad from the Emotions album. You can totally picture it being on the table for a period of time, and it just got bumped off by some other songs. So Blessed, Till the End of Time. I think there are ballads on the Emotions album that are stronger, so I do understand why Can You Hear Me was bumped off. I'm going to put it into my Emotions playlist, and I can't decide where in the track listing I would place it. So give me your suggestions. If you were to add Can You Hear Me to the Emotions album, where would you place it? Do You Think of Me is not new to me. I've lived with this song for so many years because it was a B-side, of course. We've known it, we've loved it, I still enjoy it. I am happy it's on this album, The Rarities, because it gives it a wider audience and a wider reach. I really, really love it. I think there's something haunting about it. Much like the next track, Everything Fades Away, one of my favorites. For me, it is a track on the Music Box album because it was on the European edition. It was the final track. So again, I've always had this, always lived with it and loved it. But Do You Think of Me, Everything Fades Away, they're quite similar in terms of, they're just beautiful tracks. I love the vocals, something quite haunting about them. But Everything Fades Away is one of the strongest tracks that she's had in her catalogue that hasn't been a mainstream release. So yeah, very happy to have Do You Think of Me and Everything Fades Away. All I Live For was not one of my instant favorites. I don't remember it grabbing me by the face when I first listened to it, but now every time it comes on, I am enjoying it more and more and more. For me, it's one of the stronger tracks on the album. I love the fact it is so very 90s, as Mariah says in the album notes. I'm really, really enjoying it. All I Live For is just giving me life right now. I love the trip back to mid-90s, and yeah, I really love it. Then we have One Night, which was recorded in the run-up to the Daydream release. So we are anticipating this was in contention for the Daydream album. Now, One Night is cute, but it's not my favorite. It doesn't do a whole lot for me. I really don't think it belongs on the Daydream album. I'm happy it was left off. I mean, I'm happy that we get it now, 25 years later. I can't believe it's 25 years since Daydream. But I don't see where it would sit on the Daydream album. The Daydream album, I think, is a bit of a masterpiece. I just wouldn't want to interrupt it, not with One Night. I would, however, find space on the Daydream album for Slipping Away, the next track on the Rarities. Slipping Away is such a fantastic song. It was only used as a B-side at the time, which I think is a bit of a waste maybe. It really does deserve a wider reach, a wider audience. I'm very happy it is on the Rarities album. Slipping Away is a song that I would put on the Daydream album. Again, I don't know where in the track listing. I need to think on that, or give me your suggestions. Out Here on My Own, or Oh Homo as we like to shorthand it, is such a fantastic cover. I am a sucker for a cover song by Mariah. There are not very many that I don't give huge praise and credit to. I love her covers so much. And when she released this ahead of the Rarities, I was absolutely blown away. I actually had my first listen, you saw my first reaction to that song here on my channel with my good lamb friend Nath Moore. So I'll make sure I link to that one as well if you haven't seen it already. I've just played it so much since we first had it, and since the album has come out. Again, every time that comes on, I'm really loving Out Here on My Own. I think it's a very respectful cover. She doesn't do too much with it. It's a beautiful song as it is, and she's really feeling it. She's really in the song, in the mood, and in the lyric, and I think her rendition is just beautiful, and it's definitely one that I am repeating. Okay, so now on to Loverboy, the Firecracker sample. This one was very confusing to listen to live on the live stream because there's so much going on. Oh my god. Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. It's a different song. I thought it would just feel like a remix or something. I do think that the chorus in this Firecracker version is more accessible. A small problem I had with the version that we have, Candy, the Candy version, was that the chorus was kind of lost because the vocals are more breathy. You couldn't really catch what she was singing. The Candy cameo song just overpowers quite a lot because it is very dominating. But I struggle to get the chorus because of that. The chorus, however, in this Firecracker sample, it's just there. You can just latch onto it a bit more. So do I think this version could have done better than the cameo version? I don't know. We'll never know. But the chorus is more accessible, I think. So that's what I like about this version. But ultimately, it does feel just lighter and maybe a bit brighter and a bit more fun, and maybe that would have done well for it. But I just find myself missing Candy, missing the cameo flavor that they bring. So the version that we've always had, the Candy version of Loverboy, is always going to be my favorite, but I'm super happy that we have the Firecracker version. I was so interested. We were always interested and intrigued to learn what that sounded like. Now we know, now we can compare them. We can pick a favorite if we need to. We don't have to. We can enjoy both of them, and I am enjoying it. Next up, we have I Pray. This one, if I'm honest, left me a little bit underwhelmed. I'm not really sure what I was expecting. We have modulation in there. We have some pretty big vocals. She follows the song as we knew it, being performed by the kid on the Oprah show. So I knew what I was expecting, and she does deliver. But ultimately, I don't know, I thought maybe I was going to feel more. And don't get me wrong, it's a beautiful song. I do really enjoy it, but maybe just a little bit underwhelming. Is that just me, or do you feel the same way? Cool on You is next. This one was also known as Kick Rocks. We'd all heard of the rumored song Kick Rocks, and that is there in the lyrics, it's there in the chorus. So this is the same song. I like it. I don't love it. It's a vibe, it's a bop, it's fun, it's cute and all. I don't know, it would make my top 5 on this album. It might be just outside. But yeah, I like it. I also like the next track, Mesmerized, but not a whole heap. Mesmerized for me is an interesting one. I do like it, but I just don't love it. I get what it's giving, and it is satisfying, but I don't feel the need to repeat it over and over. So this was recorded 2012. So this was in anticipation for Me I Am, the Elusive Chanteuse album. And I can see how it's a stepping stone towards songs like Meteorites and You Don't Know What to Do. And it is super fun to hear Mariah flirting with a disco sound that's a little bit different for her. So that's the side of it that I do really enjoy. But ultimately, I just don't enjoy it as a song as much as Meteorites and You Don't Know What to Do. Lullaby of Birdland is next. I was really intrigued by the choice to put on a live version as opposed to a recorded version. It was my understanding, correct me if I'm wrong, but it was my understanding that Lullaby of Birdland was intended to go on Me I Am when it was in its first iteration, and we're expecting the album to come out earlier and for it to be titled The Art of Letting Go, but the album cover leaked, the title leaked. I don't know if any of the songs leaked, but the whole track listing kind of got thrown up in the air and rethought, reshuffled. Loads of stuff went out, new stuff came in, and Lullaby of Birdland got cut. It was thrown out. That's my understanding. So I thought that Lullaby of Birdland had been recorded. Maybe there is a version floating around. Ultimately, she decided to put on a live version because she was performing it across Australia as part of the Me I Am tour. I really love it. I love a jazz number. I think the fact that I think because it is a jazz number, it's done live, I think it just works because it's jazz. I love the clips that are floating around on YouTube of Mariah doing this song and other moments in jazz clubs. I think they're super fun. Where is the jazz album? We really, really need it. I don't think it's something that's topical right now. I think it's like for further in her career later on. But things like this, moments like this, get me really, really excited, and I just want her to have Subtle Invitation and There Goes My Heart and Lullaby of Birdland, The Wind, all these kind of moments where she's really connecting directly with musicians, playing live instrumentation, and just even like an MTV Unplugged kind of moment. I don't know, I'm going off on a tangent here, but a jazz album one day, please, Mariah, we would really, really enjoy that. Lullaby of Birdland is a highlight on the Rarities for me. And now we come to the final two tracks of the album, Save the Day. Now this one we have listened to for a long time because it's been out for a few weeks now. So I do enjoy it. I do really like it. It had to grow on me a little bit when it first came out. I'm happy it's on the album, especially knowing the story that there were going to be other artists on it, and she started writing it like 10 years ago, and it was going to come out, what, 2011? It'd be some kind of like charity single or something. It just got shelved, and now she's, dragged it back out, had to rework it, re-sing it and things. We got a video as well, so amazing moments. I don't think it would make my top 5 on the album, but I do really enjoy it. And of course, the final track, Close My Eyes 2020 acoustic version. I'm a little bit torn with this because, don't get me wrong, it is an absolutely beautiful rendition and it's a beautiful song to begin with. I'm just a little bit sad that, again, it takes up a space that could have been filled by another song, something that we have all been really, really wanting, like Skydiving or Imperfect or There For Me or Runway, So I do feel bad it's taken up a spot, but ultimately Mariah has spoken several times now about how the memoir and the album go hand in hand. And having read the book and listened to the audiobook, it's clear it was a very personal choice for her, and I think that Close My Eyes really does, again, like some of these other songs we've had in the past, deserves a wider reach and a wider audience, and it's a beautiful moment. It kind of, you read the book, you listen to the album, she finishes with that rendition of Close My Eyes. I have no arguments. So as I said, I can't rate this album like I have the other ones because the scoring criteria doesn't really apply to this as a compilation album. But in my rating series, I do two things that we can do here. I pick a repeat and I pick a skip. So I'm going to invite you to do this with me. If you had to pick one song to repeat, what is it? Mine has to be Out Here on My Own. I'm surprised with myself that I'm choosing a cover. I thought I'd pick something original that she has written and just been locked away for like 20, 25 years or something. But what she does with that song is just amazing for me. She feels so personally connected to it, and I love the song anyway. But that would be my repeat, Out Here on My Own. And then I'm going to challenge you to pick a skip. If you had to pick one song to skip and not listen to, what would it be? For me, it's a toss-up between two. I'm going to go with Mesmerized, and it's closely followed by One Night. I do enjoy One Night a little bit more than Mesmerized. They're kind of, maybe depends what mood I'm in, but I'm going to go with Mesmerized. How about you guys? If you had to pick a repeat, what would it be? And if you had to pick a skip, what would it be? It's just a bit of fun, but if you want to play along, let me know in the comments. Thank you so much for watching this video. How are you getting on with the Rarities now we are a few weeks in? Let me know your thoughts. Were you surprised by anything? Were you disappointed by anything? Do you think that we're going to get the Rarities Volume 2 in a few years? I certainly hope so, because she certainly has got so much more in the vault to give. Remember, you can follow me on social media. I am Treacle Tots on Instagram and on Twitter, so I'll see you on there, and I will see you back here again very soon for another video. Until then, take care of yourselves. Cheers, thanks a lot.